Alqubit, IT, as an expression of art.
Hello world, welcome back to my live production. Today I have very interesting use case and showcase as usual. I have done few days of preparation. I don't know why this doesn't go away. Okay, I have done few days of just a sec here to enable everything and to enter into the flow. After the last very successful showcase of my real-time anamorphic desqueeze 4K upscaling inside OBS, best of the best, I want to return. I have optimized my local recording to the absolute super limit in H.265, and I want to share and show what I have done and how I am super stressing my OBS, and I am still able to produce excellent live production with no skipped frames, with no missed frames. Let's hope that my internet connection is stable, up and running, and don't make me do some bad showcase. But anyways, I'm recording it. The workflow of today. I'm having two Sony cameras, 1 and 2, multi-camera anamorphic desqueeze 1.33, CinemaScope 2.40 by 1, perfect. And I'm doing it real time, no delays, no issues, and I'm having something like 3 milliseconds. It is showing 7.5 because I need 4 milliseconds to render it here in 1080p in order to look at the program in real time. But everything else is working wonderfully. Surrey Anamorphic Super 35, the first generation, and I have super calibrated both of them to have absolutely the same color profile, aperture and everything. They are a little different, but I know what I'm doing and I have super fine-tuned. That said, the workflow. 2 cameras, Sony 1080p forced in HDMI directly into my beautiful, this thing here, at Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro. Having this signal squeezed that I will show you here, I have desqueezed it, it is squashed, but actually I have desqueezed those two angles and the signal that is going out through one super fine-tuned splitter. It's very dangerous to use a splitter. You need to position it absolutely at the beginning of the chain in order to have good signal, stable signal. And I have splitted the signal with excellent HDMI integrated audio as well. From one of the channels is going into my beautiful field monitor that I'm getting this signal, audio signal for monitoring, and I'm having here that is showing off the things. Immediately from the field monitor that I'm using as well to focus picking, zebra, false score, everything, to have those two excellent fine-tuned angles, and the aperture and everything, and the levels from this field monitor directly with what is helping the splitter. It is special splitter that is reading and reproposing the edit. Edit is very important in order to not have issues along the chain. It's reading from ATEM Mini, it is reproposing the same color space, 10-bit UV 422. Without the splitter, I have directly one bidirectional SDI HDMI that it has a splitter inside. I need two, what I main objective, to have three source of the same signal from ATEM Mini. One with the webcam, USB video class 1.1 that it is working with basically USB 2 at the maximum of realistically at 380 megabits per second. The another with SDI inside the beautiful Decklink Mini Recorder HD with the signal I will show, with the signal via SDI end-to-end, and another in parallel that is HDMI pure, the same, that is going inside Blackmagic Intensity Pro 4K. Why is that? I want to show that even though I'm super stressing my OBS with three signals, with all of them, each one of them is desqueezed, upscaled, and everything is working, I'm super recording locally with the quality profile. How it's called? Constant quality profile. The maximum is 1. The minimum is 42. I am using now 5. Why? Because I'm having around 240 megabits per second. Otherwise, at the maximum 1, I have 340. The system is multi-parametric optimized, multi-parametrically optimized, and it's still stable, but I'm getting too big file that is absolutely and beyond overkill with H.265. So I'm doing it with the profile 5, quality profile 5, which is extremely high. I'm having bit per pixel of 1 with H.265 is extremely high. Usually when you are doing optimizing is 0.025 or something like that. 0.075 is hyperdeck quality, double the hyperdeck quality. I'm doing it. Obviously, you don't have the metadata of raw, but it is equivalent of the raw recording or ProRes, but obviously the codec is not that, but it is very extreme. And let me return here. And let me open here. You see, I'm having here all the parameters of what's going on now with OBS. I don't have frames missed due to render lag. I don't have skipped frames due to recording lag. Everything is super optimized as usual and it works. What is the mega showing off today? I have optimized my audio that it is absolutely 1-to-1 at the recording and the stream. But when you shift with the quality profile, constant quality profile, you need to adjust the audio delay as well, because now I am at 5 and I need to use video output. I'm at quality profile 5. Video is upscaled. I'm using color format P010. It is 10-bit 420. The audio is what it is. The output is as it is. And this is perfect. If in case I change this in 1, I need to add 1 frame of delay to adjust the higher capacity need of the video elaboration and adjust. If I turn it lower at 10, at 20 as a constant quality profile, I need to adjust and diminish the delay of the audio. And everything is going on. What is the super duper excellent solution? I will show you with those three signals how the webcam signal is different from the normal HDMI or SDI output of ATEM Mini. It is inverted. It is used 8-bit because it is using the encoding, internal encoding. And the difference of HDMI output or SDI output, it is 8-bit, 420, and it is highly compressed. There are differences. And if I use, in case I'm using only the webcam signal as a canvas, this signal here is lowering a lot. I need the constant quality profile. What does it mean? If it needs more data, it pushes it to 340 megabits per second. If it needs less, it is slower. It is variable of the bits per second, but it is constant as a quality objective. And this is what I have done here. Let me return here. That will be, and I will elaborate here now the super biggie. I will show you the webcam signal output. It is, let me return just a sec here. If I open the signal of, unfortunately it will switch and I cannot show you, but let me show here. The signal via SDI inside that is ending in Decklink Mini Recorder HD. It is 1080p. I don't need 4K. It is HD. It is poor. It is excellent. 1080p 25, 10-bit UV, etc., etc. This one. If I inverted it, it needs to be limited because the output is limited. If I push it into full, the entire image is getting milky. This is if you invert with the limited in full. The image is getting milky because it distorts the levels of the colors from when they're starting. It doesn't cover the entire dynamic range of it is crashing it. It is expected to start from SDI starting from 0.4. Instead, it is starting from 0.64. You are missing this range, the lower range of the shadows. So it is getting milky. And I will show this effect. Now I am correct, limited. And I'm returning in the other. I will show you Intensity Pro has the same properties. It needs to be 1080p, 25 frames per second, 10-bit UV, Rec 709, limited. But I have inverted it on purpose in full, and it is only half of the frame. And now we'll enable it. You see, the half frame is milky, the half frame is normal. This here is normal, limited. This is not normal. This is the limited pushed into the range of the full, and it is distorting. You don't have it's basically shifting the entire image in higher, and you lose basically it's not correct. It is milky. And this is one. The image is absolutely the same. There is no distortions. There are no I will even enable the it has the same audio. There is no latency. Now I have double signal, and it is the same. Absolutely. It should be the same. Let me see. Hello. Let me enable here, and let me return here. But it is disabled the other. I cannot show it, unfortunately. And it has basically two signals, the same signal, basically sub-frame, sub-video frames. Eventually, there is discrepancies of the audio. It is the same source, HDMI, split it into the same absolutely super optimized in order to have the same UV 10-bit for 2.2 with the audio integrated. And from there, one is going via HDMI with the bidirectional converter, and the other is going through, basically it's acting as a repeater through my field monitor, and is going into the left side. That is actually the split signal. That is this portion is in HDMI, and I'm recording. They're correct, but I have forced this. The original signal is limited. I am forcing it as a full to show the color distortion effect. Now, let me set some background. Now, I will enable the webcam signal, inverted, forced, distorted on purpose as well. It needs to be UV 8-bit full. I have forced it. No, it's not UV. It is MJPEG. It is compressed. And it needs to be full. Rec 7 online full. I have forced it in limited. And you can see this part now. That is, I have three signals that are in overlay. This that is correct will be the background on the first layer. The second layer overlaid is this. The third layer overlaid is this. And there is if I stay still, they're perfectly aligned. If I move, this is some jelly effect because the webcam output is delayed. Obviously, it is compressing, it is delaying from the ATEM, it is even with USB and everything. And what is happening? This is with crashed blacks, crashed shadows. It is full, Rec 709 full should be. I have set it as a limited, and it is crushing the blacks. So you can see the difference, crushed blacks, because it is full, but I have presented it in limited. Here, it is limited, I have presented it as a full level, and it is milky. It is very strange. Milky, and this one here is normal. If I disable the... Let me do... How I can do? I don't want to disable the audio. If I disable this, no. If I disable this, you see the difference between this one is normal, this one is the webcam output, USB video class 1.1 with the audio elaboration delay. You see, this here, how it is delayed. It has at least a couple of frames of delay, and it is doing this thing. But you see, normal signal that should be Rec 709 full, it is limited, and the effect is color distortion. You basically crushing the blacks. Now I will set it as it should be. I will set it returning into the full, and there is, if I stay still, that differences, because obviously the other part is compressed, and I'm lowering. When I have this part, compressed part, half of the frame, my local recording is lowering the frame, the throughput of around 20 megabits per second, because there is less information. It is almost imperceptible, but there is a difference. This is compressed, and now it's regular, full level. From ATEM Mini, the webcam output needs to be MJPEG, because it is it doesn't have UE2 or NV2 12 uncompressed versions of 8 or 10 bits. It has only MJPEG that is highly compressed, and at the difference of the regular functioning of ATEM Mini, it is MJPEG Rec 709 full level. You need to set it in full level. And you have the correct color profile, it is too fast. And you have the correct color profile. And let me disable it because I have shown what needs to be shown. Now, it is the original signal of my Blackmagic Decklink Mini Recorder HD. This entire is with the SDI. I will put the half of the image with HDMI, but inverted again. And there is no latency, there is no discrepancy. It is absolutely one-to-one, the same signal, the same quality of the signal. But this one, it is 10-bit UV, Rec 709, and natively it is limited, yet it needs to be set color range in limited. I have set it in full in order to see the effect that is blowing into the milky existence. I will set it correctly, and we cannot say the difference SDI from the HDMI. Absolutely not. It is absolutely the same signal. There is no difference. I have half of this image is via HDMI, UV 10-bit, 422, but OBS is transforming in UV 10-bit 420, and it is absolutely the same. What is the difference of the SDI signal in respect of HDMI? The difference of the full level. Natively, because the technology is a little bit different. Let me open here. And what I have written here to have the things just to keep in mind the order of the thinking. Real-time 3 signals, anamorphic desqueeze with 4K upscaling in parallel, there is no any issues. HDMI, video limited, and inversion effect with 3F. Full inversion effect, and it is what I have shown. HDMI limited, forced into full, it is milky. The UVC USB video class webcam, that it is full inversion effect. If you force it in limited, it crushes the blacks. And I'm having now this profile 5. I'm having profile 5 with this range around 240 maximum megabits per second. It is constant quality profile, this one, and it adjusts based upon how to manage the quality, and it is managing the background bitrate, not too much, but it is staying into the same quality. I'm live streaming with only 5.1 maximum megabits per second, and on my live production on YouTube, it is beyond good quality, and it is managing absolutely, it is beyond excellent. USB video class video encoding deep drive that it is required. It is MJPEG. It doesn't have uncompressed UE2 and NV12. At the difference of others, that it requires USB 3.1, USB 3.2 in order to sustain this level of throughput. And SDI 10-bit, 10-bit full range. This is the difference in respect of HDMI. It starts from 0.4 because it has from 0 to 3. From 0 to 3, it is reserved to SDI communication of the frame, start to frame managing. And the last 3 bits are the same from 1020 to 1023. That you start from 0 and ending in, I have written here wrongly, it ends in 23 because it is starting from 0. And limited range is in 10-bit is starting from 64 and ending in 840. This is the color. The so-called deep blacks are from 04 to 63. And this is a tolerance, and you can use them eventually for the deep blacks via SDI. From highlights are from 941 to 1019 because 1020, 22, 23 are reserved for SDI. And this is used even in HDMI, especially with the profiles of Cine 3 and 4, so-called highlights that are arriving to plus 106%. 106% is because you have this range here. And you can push it, and it is encoded as useful color data. HDMI full range from 0 to 33, so on. And if it is 8-bit, limited range is from 16 to 235. Obviously. And SDI and HDMI, limited range is the same. The luminance is to the higher level, that is even with better nuance, more data actually with the limited range. This is the same for the SDI as well. In the luminance, you don't finish ending at the 940. You're going between 64 and 960, not for the colors, but for the luminance. And you have more range. What is about in video limited range about the colors? You don't have 1 billion and 200, 300. You have half of them because the nuances, the values are 876 multiplied by itself 3 times. You obtaining something like 680, if I'm not wrong, 670 millions, not 1 billion. So you have less colors with the limited range. With the full range, you have much more, obviously, because you can use the entirety from the ranges of sRGB full. It is the maximum level, and all the monitors as end result post matrix, conversion matrix, they are all functioning in RGB full. And the cameras, you need to see how it's, but basically the cameras are operating, I don't have the absolute certainty, but the cameras should start the signal before the RAW in RGB full. And this is curious, and this is how it's done. I'm desqueezing, as I said, in 2.40 CinemaScope, the last version, and I'm upscaling. I'm having everything okay. I'm using those 2 lenses and desqueezing. And I'm having now 120 milliseconds because I'm using the constant color profile of 5 that I need less delay. If I using the maximum value, that is absolute maximum what OBS can produce as quality via H.265 in local recording with constant quality profile, I need to set it in 4 frames, basically 160 milliseconds inside OBS. And this is basically everything. I'm having 2 GPUs that are moving dynamically and working quite well. I have only 2 frames with everything. When you switch the signal, you are basically at the higher risk to miss a couple of frames. I have 2 missed frames due to rendering lag when I have swapped the quality, the level, video levels. Otherwise, I should have been with 0. And let me return again here. So I'm absolutely the same. The canvas is 1. The signal is overlaid. This half is HDMI. This background is SDI. I will disable now the HDMI, and it is perfect. You don't perceive any difference. If there is overpositioning and discrepancy on the audio, eventually I'm apologizing for that. But it should not have any issues. Eventually, it's a slight echo effect. Eventually, but it is subframe. 1 frame is 40 milliseconds. It should be eventually few milliseconds at the maximum. And now I will return in this profile. Now it is swapping, but you can see when I'm having now the maximum of the signal that it is encoding, and it is 223. I will swap here. You can see it, that it is this, and lowering because this has a lot of static elements. It is going down to 67 megabits. But if I switching here, it is 220. And this is how it needs to work. Let me see how the effect is. And yes, this is very, very, very super optimized profile. Extremely optimized at multiple points. Writing, encoding, splitting the encoding into two signals, one for the live stream and another for the... I'm having, let me return here. I'm having here 5.6 at the maximum megabits per second. It is going up and down, but it is average skip and frame 0. I'm having only those two. That is, as I said, during the, if you changing the values on the input video signals, it may have some skipped frames levels or signals, but it is basically super stable. Again, color format P010 in order to obtain 10 bits. The output in streaming between 4850 kilobits per second, bit rate the lowest, at the maximum that it is constantly pushing a little bit to test 5150. The quality profiles between those two in terms of P6 here and P6 here, high quality, 2 passes full resolution, that is a lot, is the same, main 10 bit, and I'm using GPU 0 set here, but it is actually uses the GPU 1, that is this one, that is my Tesla 4. I don't know why, but it is inverted basically. If I set GPU 1, it uses the Quadro, and it is overloading, it can skip some frame. But this is how it is optimized. I'm using now those. I'm using media info that is excellent of the test recording that I have done just before the live production. You can see this is the maximum. This is profile, constant quality profile 1. This is the maximum it can go. 311, 340. And I'm using on purpose because it is much stable. This encoder that is NVIDIA, that is built-in, integrated, validated, tested with OBS. There is another one that is much more efficient, that you can set here as personalized. Another NVIDIA, and it is level 6. This one is main 10. It means that it's 10 bits. And level 5.1 or 0.2 If you push it beyond 240 megabits per second, it switches to level 5.2. What is the meaning of 5.1 and 2? It is bits per second. What needs to be prepared the system to handle as a throughput. With the other, I'm having, this is the best for 4K at the relatively high frame per second, 60, even 120. The other that is personalized and the library is completely different. It is main 2 level 6.1 and 0.2, and it can goes even to 500 megabits per second at high level. It is done for 4K 120 and higher, 8K 120 or whatever it is and higher, even 17K and higher. It sustains it. But what I have seen, it is stable, it is writing constantly, but at the moment that I'm pushing and recording, it forces the completing of the file. I haven't had a case that I'm losing and it is being incapable to finish to close the file correctly, but it crashes OBS. It goes, it is external library that is not so much validated, tested, and sometimes it works for 10 times in a row without any issues. If you push it too much to higher bit rates, it works, doesn't crash. But when you start the recording, it needs to write down to the hard disk, it crashes OBS. And this is why I have preferred to return to this one that is native, integrated, and everything is working. This level of encoding, H.265, at this level that you have 1.35, and with the with the constant quality profile, I'm having 1.5 bit per pixel. This meaning that for every pixel I'm using 1.5 bits. It is extreme, very extreme. It is like ProRes high quality, basically, as throughput and everything. But obviously the encoding is not the same as a ProRes. It needs to reconstruct in DaVinci Resolve. I don't have any issues. I am absolutely fluently as a butter. I don't have absolutely no computational issues because my server is very high level. And I'm able to do it because and that's it is actually ProRes high throughput recording, but with H.265. And you can see I'm still having only those 2 missed frames during the changing of the levels. I don't have skipped frames, I don't have any issues. The live stream is going on and I am at the 54th minute. It is perfect. And this is what I wanted to show, that it requires very high level of optimization. Connections, stability, video levels that you need to know the knowledge of the broadcast levels in order to be able to know what are you doing and optimize levels, video levels, and integrate everything. And it dynamically support micro adjustments of the networking of the frame, how it is composite, complex or not. This is much more complex in this case, and it is spiking to 223 megabits per second. And this is everything for today. It's been very, very fun. A couple of weeks of research and constant optimizing, and I have reached the maximum that I can produce from this thing. OBS with the... you cannot go further. You can... I have set it to upscale in 8K, but I'm reaching the limits of the GPUs and memory. It's basically going into memory uses skipped frames here, and it cannot proceed. It produced the video that is fluent and everything, but it's not sustainable. Going after a while, it is going into caching, skipped frames, missed, and everything. This cannot deliver. And this is everything. This is everything for today. Thank you very much. We will see soon again with the next live production. Where am I? Here. We'll see soon again with the next live production. And good life and vacation to anyone. We'll see soon again. Thanks. Bye bye.